Hi everybody, I'm Ryan. Today we're going to talk about blue-black control in Pauper. This deck for a while was sitting as the first or second most popular decks in Pauper on Magic Online. Has since slipped a little bit from the top, but with Lorien Revealed recently released in Lord of the Rings, blue-black control is very, very good and has made a few changes to sort of streamline itself. So what we're going to do today is talk about the overall strategy of blue-black control, how to play it, what cards are for, and the card choices in this deck. Let's jump into it. So this is my blue-black control in Pauper deck. The overall strategy of the deck is to draw a bunch of cards, fix our mana, kill things, counter spells, and then cast 5/5s for 1 and 6/5s for 2, and finish off the game. I'm going to rearrange this to kind of divide this into different categories of the deck. So first off is our draw and color fixing. Mental Note and Brainstorm effectively do the same thing. Is target player mills 2 cards, or mill 2 cards, and draw a card. This effectively puts 3 cards into our graveyard, at least one of them an instant or sorcery, but our deck is full of instants and sorceries. The beautiful part about that is that gets us even closer to our kill conditions, where if we have 6 instant or sorcery cards in our graveyard, we get to cast a 5/5 with Ward 2 for 1 mana. We can exile cards from our graveyard, preferably not instant sorceries, to be able to cast a 5/5 for 1 mana, where it delves with Gurmag Angler. And we can cast a 6/5 for 2 mana if we have at least 5 instant sorceries in our graveyard. So filling our graveyard as much as possible with these instant sorceries with Mental Note and Thought Scour is super good. Also, having these cards that replace themselves means that we have the possibility of drawing into other cards that do stuff. We're also playing Lorien Revealed. It's a great way to sink our mana in the deep late game to just draw 3 cards, which is obviously very powerful in a control deck, but also it has Island Cycling 1, where we can discard it and pay 1 mana to grab an island from our deck. The beautiful part of that is that every single land on our deck are islands. So we can either grab an island so it can enter untapped, or we can grab one of our tapped swamp islands, which both of these are, to fix our mana and grab the black that we need. That being said, that means we don't really need to run any swamps, and instead we can run these 6 black sources plus these 4 Lorien Revealeds and effectively have 10 black sources. We're playing 2 Deep Analysis just to round out our draw card and card advantage pool as extra card draw and a mana seek in the deep late game. If you have too many of these, you won't have stuff to do in the early game, which is why we're only paying 2. And then we're playing 4 Brainstorm. Brainstorm is 1 mana instant, draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. Now, in Legacy, when you play this card, you can have it paired with a fetch land or something like that, and have it just be draw 3 cards, put 2 cards that don't do anything on top of your deck, and then shuffle your library by cracking a fetch. The interesting thing about Brainstorm in this deck is you can sort of do the Legacy thing. For example, the easiest way is brainstorming, put 2 cards you don't want on top of your deck, and then Island Cycling Lorien Revealed to shuffle away those cards, grab an island from your deck. Another way to do it is brainstorm, put 2 cards you don't want on top of your deck, and then Thought Scour or Mental Note yourself to mill those 2 cards, and then it's effectively like drawing 3 cards. Very, very, very powerful, and using brainstorm correctly is key to doing well with this deck. We're playing 4 Counterspell, 2 mana, counter target spell. Every land in our deck can cast Counterspell. They're all islands. It's extremely mana efficient and important cornerstone of the deck. And 2 Spell Pierce to sort of round out our Counterspell suite. Counter target non-creature spell unless controller pays 2. We also have a ton of kill spells for things that get underneath the counter spells, especially since we're going to be drawing a lot of cards and trying to fill our graveyard as fast as possible. Playing 4 Snuff Out. Now it's a 4 mana instant, where if you control a swamp, you can pay 4 life rather than the spell's mana cost, destroy target non-black creature, it can't be regenerated. Most of the time, we're just going to be paying 4 life to destroy target non-black creature, it can't be regenerated. So I wouldn't even consider this something we need a black source for, or like use a black source for. So we just already need a swamp on the battlefield, which is very, very easy to do, and something that we can just like pay 4 life, not spend any mana on it, and be able to spend our mana on these other really important things. I'm gonna skip around a little bit. We're playing 2 Cast Down to 2 mana, destroy target non-legendary creature. The cool thing about Pauper is very, very, very few cards are legendary, so this becomes just 2 mana, destroy target creature. We're playing 1 Chainer's Edict, 2 mana sorcery, target player sacrifice a creature, or 7 mana to flush it back. Very good against Boggles, but also really good like in the mirror match, or really anything where they're not playing a ton of creatures and instead are focusing on killing you with 1 creature. And we're playing 2 Unexpected Fangs, which I'm putting in the removal spell category. 2 mana, put a +1/+1 counter and a lifelink counter on target creature. This is really, really good alongside our very, very big kill conditions we've already talked about just a little bit, especially since Mono Red and the Burn deck is the most prominent deck in the format. Being able to just like, you know, Thought Scour ourselves, Mental Note ourselves, play a 5/5 for 1, attack Unexpected Fangs can just end the game because it's a lifelink counter. It's not lifelink till end of turn, so we can keep attacking, keep gaining a ridiculous amount of life, and the game is just over. Again, this is only main deck because burn is like every third deck you play against in Pauper on Magic Online. As far as our suite, we've already sort of talked about it, so I'm going to talk about it in brief. The reason we're trying to mill ourselves and fill our graveyard is so that we can cast Lorien Revealed as a 5/5 for 1, Cryptic Servant as a 6/5 for 2, and be able to delve cards with Gourmet Angler to have another 5/5 for 1. When we delve, the only thing to really understand with this is make sure when we're delving cards, we try to exile the instant and sorceries last, because we want instant and sorceries in our graveyard through Lorien Terror and Cryptic Servant. And then the last kind of fun of is Crawl from the Cellar. I found this card very good. Return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand, put a +1/+1 counter up to 1 target zombie you control. The cool part is Gourmet Angler is a zombie, so that's kind of neat. The reason we're playing this card is that sometimes we can run out of kill conditions, or sometimes we can mill our kill conditions and not draw them. And we're milling a lot of cards like Mental Note and Thought Scour and stuff like that. And very often we'll mill a kill condition and we can just put it in our hand and immediately cast it very easily. And if we're getting really unlucky, we can just flashback Crawl from the Cellar to get a kill condition, be able to play it. And it's just another way to really bury our opponent, make them feel like they're answering our kill conditions, and we just get 2 back, play, you're dead. It's very, very powerful. So again, the overall strategy of the main deck: draw a bunch of cards, counter their stuff or kill their stuff, play a big homie, and end the game super swiftly. If you look at the sideboard's all pretty obvious. Blue Elemental Blast and Hydro Blast are both for these red decks. Steel Sabotage is our answer to these artifact decks, especially Grixis Affinity. Rotten Reunion is for any sort of graveyard strategy that we want to deal with. Chainer's Edict, mostly for boggles, but it's also really good in the mirror match. Really anything where we're trying to rely on just a few giant creatures or one giant creature. Suffocating Fumes is great against these go-wide decks. And also the beautiful part about Suffocating Fumes is that if it's bad in our hand, we can just cycle it. So we can kind of be really liberal about siding in Suffocating Fumes. And we're playing 2 Nihil Spellbomb, again for graveyard strategies, such as the mirror match or familiars or whatever. Now, if you like this video and want to see more videos like this, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social media. Links are above me and in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye!